today I want to go over further ways to set up dreaming. In other words, ways to set up our perception and our awareness so that when we go to sleep, dreams can bring us information and we can navigate in dreams. And as a baseline, we want to review first those two energy passes that we've done, and just to have them very clear and we continue to practice them. First energy pass is to open the energy of the pit of the stomach, the solar plexus area. And here is where the attention, the dreaming attention for dreams, for dreaming, comes from here. So again, we are not really working with the head. We can work with the eyes, and we'll do that in a moment. But we descend to the solar plexus, open the energy here, and the attention to hold awareness in a dream from here. And the second area is below the belly button. So those are the two main energy centers that we need to have activated. And the capacity to do things in the dream, to be active, to move, comes from here. So the fuel, the energy to move and to be active in dreams down here, the awareness, the attention, the dreaming attention that leads us and opens us into dreaming from here. So with the hands, so you're sitting on the elevated cushion, make sure you have nice and free the belly, and we're going to then wake up this area first. And with these different ways we can do it, it's always useful to use the hands to as a conduct of our attention. And so first we can massage underneath the ribs towards the midline. Just come underneath the ribs, leaning forward so you soften the belly, and massage a bit the area, trying to soften. See if just register your relative degree of ease or tension in this area. It's possible that it feels tender or tight, and that will tell you something about how you are in terms of your nervous system. Release that, and then I want to have you do like a little bit like a sit-up, sort of, where the upper body, you bring it down to contract here exactly in the pit of the stomach. 1, 2, 3. You can use your fingers as a way to sense how you're contracting, compressing the area and releasing it. And we're not obviously really trying to develop abdominal muscles as if we were in the gym. We're just doing this as a way to activate the energy of this spot. Pause here. Open the legs a little bit. And we're going to, with the left hand, snap in the inside of those calves, point in a strike. Snap, point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you strike, you contract the pit of the stomach, same area. 8, 9, 10. And now slowly scoop, inhaling, scoop all the energy you stirred between the legs. Bring it to the pit of the stomach and then exhale as you rotate and scoop slowly there. When you finish the exhale, inhale. As you exhale, you extend those energy lineaments all the way out. Inhale, scooping. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale and extend them. And compress the area as you extend the arm. Now, don't look at me, just do it for yourself. Inhaling, scooping. Put your eyes in your solar plexus. Exhale. Inhale. Extend. One more. Very well. So we established our attention right here. Now we go to the second energy pass to focus on getting the fuel, the energy, so that when we go into dreaming, we can be active and move and do things. Hand in the midline, we turn to one side, to the opposite side, and align to the center. So palm stays straight. So there's the wrist that compensates for the angle, yeah, and then center. One side, the other side, center. And then unfold, palms up, and bring it all the way up and sliding down along the midline, pausing at the eyebrow, gathering your thoughts and your mind, bringing your thoughts and your mind down to the solar plexus and down further to the dark pit. Scoop, gather, and extend. With a breath. Inhale. Exhale. At the forehead. Inhale there, gathering in a circular way. Exhale, down, down, down. Bring the mind down to the body, past the solar plexus onto the lower abdomen. Inhale, gathering, scooping. Exhale, extending. And one more time. Don't look at the camera, just feel it where you are. So I want to read you just a few expressions from the Nahual regarding the energy body to stay attuned to this configuration of energy. Since time immemorial, sorcerers have given the name of energy body to a special configuration of energy which belongs to each human being individually. So first thing is the energy body is an expression of me that is extremely individual, and each one of us has that individual expression available. He also called this configuration the dreaming body, the double, or the other. For sorcerers, the physical and the energy body are one single unit. So that's the other feeling that we want you to have. And these are things that we've gone through many times, but today we are summoning these essential aspects that we want to have very clear. The physical and the energy body are one single unit. One of the arts of sorcerers is to beckon the energy body so it can begin to preside energetically over everything the physical body does. So the training that we are aiming at is so that our experience of life, of the world, comes primarily more immediately through the physical body. But the practice is so that the energy body has a more and more of a presence, of a tangible presence, so that it begins to preside, to be the underlying reference and force behind everything the physical body does, everything behind everything that we experience in our life. So we incorporate the physical, we extend it, and we bring the energy body as a sense of a foundation that is present in daily life. That's why we are turning the presence of something that is sometimes abstract and intangible and intellectual, like the energy body and the concept of what the energy body is, and we're bringing it so that it is a tangible presence that presides over everything the physical body does. Sorcerers maintain that the link between the physical body and the energy body is a mysterious agglutinating force, which we incessantly use without ever being aware of it. So this is a abstract thing, but also we can access it through intending, which is everything is held together in the universe by an agglutinating force. And without going into potential descriptions from the point of view of science or quantum physics, in the description of the world from the point of view of the seers, there is this agglutinating force that permeates everything in the universe, including us. And it is precisely that force that holds together, that binds together these two configurations of energy that we are, the body as a physical entity and as an energy body. When the physical body and the energy body are not joined, that connection between them is an ethereal line, which sometimes is so tenuous that it seems not to exist. Don Juan was certain that the energy body is pushed farther and farther away as one grows older, and that death comes as the result of the severance of that tenuous connection. So it's our clock. The connection with our energy body is the clock ticking. We come with it strongly connected, and life pushes us away from it. And again, as we've said in the past, don't go into this as an intellectual uh, image or description. It is a sensation of how, again, in our regular life, we don't really have the awareness of the energy body with us. We don't think of it. We don't think on terms, right? That's why we said we're trying to develop so that the energy body is the underlying force behind everything we do. And so that will make the connection stronger. And if we don't, that tenuous connection becomes more and more ethereal. And when it's finished, then death comes upon us. Sometimes you can see in someone the presence of death just by sensing that that connection is not there. The spirit is lost, and so it's much easier to fall into the actual physical death. But that's theme for another class. So these are the just essential concepts and essential sensations that we want you to have as we are developing this entry into the energy body. So I want to describe to you and practice together with you a ways to use also the eyes to set up dreaming. And these are all practices that we're doing that we can do, of course, during the day, but it's primarily to be done before you go to sleep or before you take a nap, before you are connecting to dreaming from the position of sleep. And some of you were asking, I had a conversation with one of you recently regarding the frequency of dreaming. And one of the things that came up was, as you remember in the interview that we had you listen to, Nawal, from the 60s, when he is talking about the first book that he wrote. He was saying how the book gives the reader a false sense of continuity. It makes it look like everything is happening one after the other, and when in reality there are isolated events that are intermixed with long stretches of non-dreaming activity, for example, or not uh, any spectacular kind of experiences of perception. So the same thing applies to the art of dreaming. Then Anwar will tell us, that the book is very deceiving in that way, precisely because you read it and you get the idea that this is happening all the time, and it's not. So definitely there's a need for having many, many nights where we are just resting and regenerating. So I'm not sure if I referred to this before, but just as a reminder, if we look at sleep in a very simple way, the stages of sleep. When we go to sleep, first, as we relax the mind and we are kind of like in this intermediate space or state between being awake and being asleep, that in terms of the waves of the brain, if you do a electroencephalogram, they call alpha, right? We all heard of the alpha state, a state of higher receptivity because the force of the inner dialogue is much less present. So we can access a lot of different things. So that's why that state before going to sleep is an excellent moment to set up dreaming, to set up uh, anything that we want to kind of bring into the dream life or bring into our sleep. Then once we fall asleep, in the new view of science on sleep stages, because this is an evolving area, we still today don't really know why we have to sleep. We know that we have to sleep, and we know that if we don't sleep, we actually will die, actually physically die. But we do have a lot of information. We know that there is an enormous amount of regeneration and remodulation of the body systems and the immune system, for example, that happens during sleep. And that happens primarily during the deep stage of sleep. So a N2, N1 is the moment of as we fall asleep. N2 is the intermediate stage while we are already sleeping that always leads to two different routes. It can either lead to a very deep state we call N3, or it leads to REM sleep, which is where we have our dreams. And this goes in cycles throughout the night. Always goes N2, N3, N2, REM, N2, N3, N2, REM, and so forth. So we cycle always between a deep state of sleep and regeneration and a more active state of dreams. As the night progresses, predominantly as we are regenerating and resting enough, then the REM component becomes more enlarged. So whenever we are trying to remember dreams or have dreaming activity, it's often in the latter parts of the night or in the early morning. And sometimes, if we had a lot of activity during the daytime, a lot of input, a lot of effort, then we want to intend to just enhance the N3, intend to enhance the rest regeneration component. And then if we are rested or we're on vacation or every few days, we can then intend to highlight the REM component. So don't try to dream every single night, okay? We are giving you guidelines to, to keep a dream log and work with your dreams, but we definitely want you to have an energetic balance. So if you had a very long day, you have not many hours for sleep that night because next day you have to go to work, etc. Don't don't intend to dream. Just intend to have a good deep rest and other ways, right? So as we are then depending on how was our day, here we are going to set up some dreaming for tonight because we had a okay resting day and we have plenty of hours to sleep at night. So okay, tonight I'm gonna set up dreaming. So as I go to sleep, I do my setup dreaming practice. I connect my two areas. I do the breaths, and I'm gonna show you some ways to use the eyes also. We don't use the head for dreaming. Uh, like I said, we go into the body, but we can use the eyes. The eyes are beacons for intent, so we can use that. And the first thing is we need to uh, release the eyes as a medium for asserting the world of everyday life. That's how let's say we arrive at nighttime and we come from all day long and we have used the eyes in a particular way, mostly to take in the world, data, computers, TV, um, catching opportunities, etc. So we need to first release the eyes, disconnect, unplug the eyes from the world. And nothing better than pulling from the eyebrows to begin. So let's all do it together. So you pull for the eyebrows. I think everybody knows this already. You do it alternating. You first stay at the area near the bridge of the nose for quite a bit. You want to try to grab as much as you can of the eyebrow and then slide it upwards towards the hair until it slides out of your finger. So between the thumb and the index, you are pulling up. And then you grab it again, but you pull as you go along the eyebrow, you pull away from the bone, different angle, different direction of pulling. And you take your time and you want to stay a couple of extra times right at the midline of the eyebrow above where the pupil would be in the middle of the eye. What we are intending is to close the eyes as a way to see the world from the everyday attention, from the first attention, and open the eyes to see from the non-linear world, from the dream world, from the double, or from the other. All right, release, shake the hands, any tension there. And now we're going to massage around the eye, not the eye itself, but around the eye. So all the bone and the eyebrow and around. So brush the hands in a circular way. It's easier going outwards, so when you go through the eyebrow, you're not going across against the hairs. Okay, and now you're going to massage the actual eyeball itself. So gentle massage, but you definitely want to be massaging the eye with the eyelids closed and massaging the actual eye itself. Slowly and just exploring, releasing tension. the eyes get a break. All our eyes are overworked. If you're wearing contact lenses right now, of course you have to adapt, and you want to do this afterwards in bed without contact lenses. All right, let your hands go, release. Now I want to show you something that we're going to do with the eyes. And the first, you're going to close the eyes, and we're going to the eyelid, and we're going to first just lift the eyeball, right? So we're going to be with the eyes closed and looking up slightly. We're going to stay there for a bit. And then what I want you to do is this is a way to engage the eyes in a non-linear way. Okay, so now we've released the first day, the everyday attention from the eyes, and we're going to use them as a way to enter into dreaming. And so what I want you to do afterwards is, when I tell you, is you're going to feel how the eyes are continuing the circle back and around, and then coming back to the front from underneath. So we have eye level, and then we're going to then lift the eyes maybe 45 degrees and keep them there for a little bit. And when I tell you, you're going to continue the line as if we're looking like this up, and then I'm going to without physically doing it, but doing it with your intent. You're going to keep rolling up and all the way up and back and around and behind and coming to the front again from below, and then reaching again the point of slightly looking up. So the slightly looking above the horizon is going to be our resting point. And then we're going to do working with the eyes in a circular way backwards. And as we are falling backwards with the eyes, we're going to go deeper and deeper into a dream state. And Andrea, if you're having a need for me to repeat anything in the translation, you let me know, okay? All right, so as you are, close your eyes. First, we have the eyes at the horizon level, so we are looking straight ahead. And now roll the eyes physically, do it a little bit up. Not too much that it strains, just a little bit up. And just keep it there. And the act of having the eyes looking up slightly will let you have a feeling of sort of rolling back into your brain, into your mind, into a space within you. The energy body is not just far away. Another way to access it is to go inwards. It's far within. So just settle into the position with the eyes up. And now let him keep rolling back. Keep the rolling upwards first. Keep rolling all the way behind you. Again, you're now doing this with your intent. Coming around and from below, reappearing to the front, and then connecting back to the physical eyeball that is looking up. And we stay there. And we go again, rolling in a circular way. As you're rolling up and back and down, you're going deeper into within. The physical eyes, you can use them to help you during the transit in the front of your body. And then as you're rolling up and back, the intent continues, your inner eyes continue rolling, and the physical eyes just stay there. I want you to lightly position your tongue against the roof of your mouth and drop the jaw, open slightly the mouth, breathing through the nose if you can, in and out through the nose. And any place now when you're rolling backwards, just stay. Stay with your inner eyes somewhere behind you and just rest there. Your physical eyes are looking up under your eyelids, and your energetic eyes are behind you somewhere there. Okay, release the tongue, release the eyes, open the eyes physically. So you can do this, and then once you are behind, you just roll into sleep. You can do this sitting in the bed and then just physically go back and go to sleep, or you can be already laying down and then you just fall into sleep. Another way to use the eyes to set up dreaming is coming from the eyes. We did this a little bit last week, but I'm going to go over it with a little more detail. We use the eyes to come straight from behind up into the inside of the brain. So for that, you tuck in the chin a little bit, so the eyes are physically looking down, but as the physical eyes are looking down to the front, I want you to actually, with your intending eyes, you're going to go exactly the opposite way. From behind, you're going to go up, and you're going to create a pressure as if the eyes are pushing behind and up into your brain. And again, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. So sitting to this for this breath, what we do is we pump the energy up the spine, bring it to the top of the head, and then with the eyes, we're going to compress it. I'll guide you. So sitting there as you are, let the eyes close, spine is straight this time, and inhale for the perineum, pumping up, shooting the energy upwards to the head and down. Just we do this a couple times to gather some momentum. Okay, now inhale all the way, long back of the neck. Bring it all the way up and place your tongue on the roof of the mouth. And now just breathe normally, but every time you inhale, you're intending to consolidate the energy up. And the roof of the mouth has the tongue pressed on it, the chin slightly tucked down, your eyes, the physical eyes are facing down in front of you. And I want you to use the eyes in a non-linear way where you project them exactly the opposite. So back and up, as if behind your eyes you're pushing into the brain, into the crown specifically. Drop the jaw, open the mouth a little bit. Tongue on the roof presses and helps. The tongue is an aid to the back of the eyes. There we go. We hold the position, we stay there. Every time you inhale, the eyes intend to send the energy into the crown. Into the crown, into the back of the head, all that area up and behind you. In front of us is the everyday world. Behind us is the dream world. We are opening that portal and we are exercising our attention as we do that, so that can translate into having our attention more keen, more awake during the sleep. All right, release the tongue, lift the chin, open the eyes. And the same, if you do this technique for the eyes, you, from being back there, you lean back, roll back, and go to sleep. Another way to use the eyes is in relation to the dowel. So for the ones of you or participants from Russia, which we haven't done the owl before, if you don't have a dowel with you, if you don't, because here's my dowel. If you don't have a dowel, a way you can use your body as a dowel is you position your thumbs. You can do like this, maybe that's the easiest, and then you bring your elbows in and you lean and you place the tip of your thumbs between the eyebrows, and the thumbs are locked and they will function as a dowel to create pressure between the eyelids, same way as a dowel. And if you have a dowel, then just as a review, the way to use it, and you can actually, for this one, maybe you want to sit flat. You position it between the eyebrows and the hands resting on the legs, elbows in the crook of the knee, hands on the ankles, thumbs on the inner heel, and tongue is going to be rolled backwards if possible on the roof, or if that's difficult, just press it up onto it. But if you can, you roll behind the tongue and you let the underneath of the tip press on the roof of the mouth. If not, it will be the front of the tip on the roof. That's easier. Um, so again, we are disconnecting the eyes as a physical entity to take in the world, and we're opening another eye, right? Many traditions call it the third eye. Um, the what matters for us is that we can see, we can have a visual experience with this area between the eyes, and we can use that non-linear sight capacity as a means to go into dreaming. So the Tao, we can use it before going to sleep to set up dreaming that way. And we're going to do it together so we have a sense of that. So a very useful way to before positioning the dowel to release the eyes is brushing just do it all together, creating the warmth. And we're going to cup the eyes as we've done many times. Elbows on the legs, and then let the eyes rest on the base of the hands, and let the weight of the head sink into it. So here we are using pressure, a steady pressure on the eye to trigger the shutdown of the eye. The shutdown of the eye as a linear sense, and the waking up of the eyes as a non-linear sense. And here the main important thing is to wait until you feel that the resistance of the eye to the pressure releases. It really depends on the degree of tension that you have coming in. And many times when the shift takes place, you will feel the eye resting deeper into the socket, deeper into the bones, resisting less being pressed. Many times the breath shifts spontaneously when you do this. Maybe you try to sigh or take a deeper breath. And you have to regulate the degree of physical pressure on the eye. You don't want it to be too strong. You want some pressure and steady pressure, but a light one. I don't have a way to explain to you exactly how much pressure, but you want to feel it that is being pressed in but not forced. Very well, we're going to maintain the eyes closed as we release the hands and grab the dowel, which is with your hand, and positioning the dowel and leaning into it. If you need to use the hands like I showed you, the thumbs, you can do that. And take a moment to adjust the dowel's position. Make any adjustments you need in your body. And just rest your head on it. So immediately you want to wake up a visual sense right in the spot where the dowel is pressing. Let a light sensation appear. The tongue is rolled on the roof of the mouth. The jaw is loose and maybe even a little bit with the mouth slightly open. Let all the weight of your trunk rest on that spot. Release the shoulders and the spine. And see if you can consolidate the light in front of you into a more concise, it could be a ball, it could be a rounded structure or shape with spikes and whatnot. See if you can consolidate it into the front. And maybe even you can follow that light as if it was a conduit of some kind, as if the light became a pathway of sorts that you could follow into some space. So we have been using the eyes to project our intent forward, right? We can also use the eyes backwards. So the same way, just as you are, don't change anything in your physical position. But now I want you to send the eyes backwards, or let the space expand backwards from the position where the eyebrow and the dowel are in contact. As your physicality falls forward, guided by gravity, your non-linear eyes expand backwards. Now at your own pace, we're going to just allow our physical bodies to rest horizontally. You lay down. Unless you want to, if you really, really are super into the position, you want to stay, you can stay. Otherwise, you release a dowel and lay down on your back. Just lay down on your back and have your knees bent. Let yourself fall backwards. Physically fall backwards and let your eyes fall backwards too. Still have the tongue against the roof, jaw relaxed, half open. Physically, the eyes may be slightly rolled up, and the non-linear eyes fully expanded backwards, falling back onto the mat. And just stay there in this expansive space. There's a nothingness, and just let that be. And maybe it opens you up to other spaces in your dream attention, and that's okay.